The Omid and Kojo Show.
Let's intro this bish. So, welcome back to the Omid and Kojo Show. We've got a very special edition of the Omid and Kojo Show today. We've got the Omid, Kojo, and Vivien show. So, welcome Vivien Youlou to the show.
Hi, Vivian's here again.
Vivien's always here.
Oh.
That's the only thing I've learned. Vivien is always ready to be here.
I have to.
So, how have you been, Viv? How's life treating you? What's happening in Paris? Is anything new happening?
Like right now, you mean? Nothing special actually. Is out of this situation, the COVID stuff, everything gets. It's not like it's a weird situation, but I'm. As you probably know, I just came back to tricking, so I just train hard as I can, and that's it.
Yeah. Has it delayed the gym closing? Because I know your gym's getting knocked down, isn't it? For the Olympics.
Oh yeah. It actually delays it, but now it's closed. It's probably destroyed actually now. Yeah. When the last session I've made there, in front of it you have this huge writing things that's saying that it's gonna be destroyed soon. So yeah. You guys noticed, but I have a magic trick on my camera now.
Oh yeah.
What is this?
Right here. I can.
Amazing.
All right. We're gonna keep it for the rest of the show. Okay.
Vivien, tell me all about your fasting, because I've always been quite interested in this. I've never tried it. I don't know much about it, but I've talked to a few trickers who said they've really benefited from fasting. So, yeah, tell us your story.
Yeah. So my story about it is it's a big story because it's actually solved a lot of problems that I had as a tricker and also as a normal human. I mean, like so let's start from the very beginning. So since I'm 2 years old, I'm doing a lot of I have a lot of asthma, like from my, let's say, since I'm 6 years old until my 10 or around 10 or 11 years old, almost every month, I had to go to the hospital because I was about to die. Like the asthma was really serious when I was young.
Damn.
And so I just get through this like hard step, and since then I still have a lot of asthma, and I just need to take my medicine every day of my life. If I don't do it, I can't trick. I can't even like walk in the street because I start to breathe bad. Like, so it's been actually, I'm 30 now, so it's been 28 years that I'm taking medicine for it, and so I knew that fasting could help with that, and I mainly wanted to heal my knee, because that's the problem. The problem with my knee is that it was 2 years that I couldn't handle like a hard session anymore. I couldn't trick like for real. I could do like performances and show because it doesn't ask me like too much effort for my knee. And then so I did this fasting for 17 days, and since then I haven't take any more medicine for my asthma, and I'm able to trick now.
That's so crazy.
Was it fasting like not eating at all? Was it just water, or like eating just fruit or something like? Did you eat anything?
So there is two kind of fasting. Like, I mean, two kind of hard fasting. There is the water one, so you only drink water, and there is the dry one where you don't put anything in your mouth, even water.
What?
Yeah. So
Okay, no.
during my fasting, I mixed the both of them. So I did 17 days of fasting, and during these 17 days, I had 3 days in a row without water, and then 9 days in a row without water.
What?
Yeah.
When you're
Wait. So
supposed to
you
die?
had 3 days with water. No, sorry,
No.
3 days without water,
Yeah.
and then 9 days with
With-
water.
No. So actually, I did something like this. I did 3 or 4 days with water at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Then I did 3 days without water.
Okay.
Then I did a half day with water, and then I spent 9 days without water. And the very last day, I drink because I I had to. It was
How did
I
you
wanted
do
to
it?
like the 10 days without water, but I felt that during the last day I had to drink because it was too much. I've been a bit too hard on this one. Like 1 week shouldn't be enough, but I just wanted to hit the 10 days. But yeah, it was a bit too much, to be honest.
That must have taken such mental strength.
Man, it was so hard. You can't even imagine. I don't know if you watched the video about it, but the
Yeah,
two
yeah.
videos that I made about it, but I was like a I was like a dead person. I was a zombie. I don't know if we can say zombie in English, but yeah,
Yeah.
That works.
I was I felt terrible. It felt terrible. Like I didn't expect that being thirsty would be harder than being hungry. Like after 3 or 4 days, you are not hungry anymore actually. But when it comes to the water, that you get thirsty and more and more thirsty, like during the process, of this fasting. And like the seventh, eighth, and ninth day was super hard. It's actually like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Did you worry at all that you
Yeah,
were
but like
Yes,
die?
that's the thing is that was my way to think. It's I wanted to heal, and I know that dry fasting, it's not necessarily more efficient, but it's quicker on the effects. They say that there is no difference between dry fast and water fast, but one day of dry fast equal 3 days of water fast. And the longer is your fast, the more benefits you have. So that's the thing. And I wanted to hit as many days as possible of dry fast because I know that it will be quicker on the good effect to have the good effect of fasting, the benefit, I mean.
So how much?
What were you doing during the fast?
Nothing. You just like for the last days. So it wasn't that warm in France. I was in the south of France, so it was a bit warmer than Paris, but it wasn't that warm. And my I was it was during the quarantine in France. So we went on the south of France in my girlfriend's mother's girlfriend's house, and she had this little pool, and this pool was super cold, like way too cold to go inside it. So the only thing that I did is I was laying down on the sun, like just like take as much sun as possible because it get me warmer and it felt good. And then when I was too warm, I just go into this pool, get like to be like more fresh and then have some cold, and then go back and lay down and just in front of the sun, and I did that all day, and
Vivien
I
just living
didn't
the
even
life
have
of
the
a
strength
lizard.
to play video games. It asked me way too much effort.
That's so crazy. So, how much research did you do into fasting beforehand? And like, is there much like what kind of I don't know what kind of research has been done into it to show the positive effects?
So yeah, that's a good question. So I did a lot of research. Like I seriously, maybe I look at least to maybe 20 hours of videos on fasting, like, and I read a lot of different document and articles and stuffs like this.
Mhm.
And when it comes to the research that have been made on fasting, here is the problem: is that fasting, it's actually it's they pretend that it's a solution to a lot of disease and things, and they don't want to put too much money on the research, because the fact to do not eating and not taking any medicine is not worth it for like the
It's not profitable, basically.
profitable, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is like the main argument that they say, this is why there is not enough there is not a lot of research on it. But on the research that they made, they have like actually a lot of benefit, like as I told you, on asthma. They also pretend that it can heal cancer and a lot of things. Actually, I heard about fasting because a good friend of I have a friend that this girl healed from brain cancer by fasting. So she was supposed to die, and she decided to take a bill for different countries, and then there is this day where she landed in India, and there is this guy who told her, you just, for your sickness, you should just stop eating and just do a lot of meditation. She did that for 45 days. So she didn't eat for 45 days. She drank, and she came back healed. Yeah, that's the story. When I
Crazy.
heard this story, it was a while ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I really get interested about fasting, but I was like, it was just in the side of my head, and I just like didn't really pay attention. And then I just did some other research for my knee, and I heard fasting again, and I was like, yeah, it's quarantine, so maybe it could be a good solution. And yeah, so yeah,
Um,
yeah.
well,
Sorry.
before we go any further, like let's bring it back. So you've had this knee injury for how long now?
So I had this knee injury for 4 years, and this last 2 years I almost couldn't trick.
Uh-huh.
Like,
So what what have you done since? Well, what do you know what the extent of the injury is exactly? Because like it feels like to me, since I've known you, you've had a knee problem, and we've known each other like what 5 6 years now.
yeah.
So it feels like you had the injury for such a long time, but then you have had periods where you've been able to train. So what's happened since you got injured up to the point where you felt like I've tried everything else, so now let me try fasting.
So so the knee where I have my problem wasn't the same knee.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I had my right knee where I had my surgery,
Yeah.
and this knee like just is really swollen and painful and all of these things. And so like 4 years ago, I start to had my jumper's knee.
Uh-huh.
And so 2 years ago, I start to not be able to trick hard. And yeah, like the very last hard session that I had was with you during in Australia, actually.
Oh, okay, okay,
And
okay.
I don't know if you can remember, there is some days that I've tried to not trick to be able to trick during the last session because
Yeah.
it was bothering me a lot.
Mm-hmm. No,
So
I know. That's so crazy. It's so insane to me. Like, also that girl that didn't eat for 45 days.
yeah,
It. How did she? Like, honestly, how did she not die? Because
She
the
must
thing
be
is, like, I was thinking the same about you. Like, just from doing your fast, I was thinking, well, maybe that would be one of my concerns. Like, what if I just die? Like,
like
I try and do this thing to heal me, and it kills me.
this is the one of the problem with fasting is that people doesn't know it and don't do any research on it, and they think that, yeah, if I don't drink for 3 days I will die, if I don't eat for 10 days I will die. Let me tell you something. A regular person like both of you or anyone can fast for 45 days. Like, they have to drink, of course, but
Yeah.
you can not eat for 45 days without having any major problem, without causing any damage to your body.
But
40.
surely there's got to be like so many variables involved in that like, I mean, obviously none of us are doctors here. Let me
Yeah,
just, we're
sure.
not scientists.
Yeah,
but
when I
like,
say that, I mean like a regular person who doesn't
yeah,
have like a big sickness or stuff like this.
Yeah.
That's so mad.
Well, tell us about you coming out of the fast. So what was that like when you started like eating and drinking again, and then how did you feel?
It was magic. No, so here is the thing. This is actually this is a really good question because fasting is hard, but the I don't know how to say it in English, but you have to get back to eating like on a like a really soft and step by step. You know, you can't like eat like a steak on the day you come back to eating. You know.
Yeah.
So here is the thing: you have to start with only liquid food like real fresh juice, not like bottles that you can buy on stuff like this, or like soup and stuffs like this,
Uh-huh.
but only vegetables and fruit. And then you can step by step get back to a normal food. So you will eat like meat after a few days, and then alcohol later. But I don't I it's a bit technical in English to explain everything, but you can easily find some information on internet on it. But yeah, so the issue that I had is that my brain just wanted to eat a lot, and never stop. So after like I was eating, for example, and I didn't know when to stop. And even when my stomach was big and full, I just wanted to keep eating, and it started to hurt me a little bit. So after 4 days, 4 or 5 days, I think I did 1 day of fasting again. Then the day after, I kept back to eating, and I felt a lot better. And then 5 days later, I did one more day of fasting, and after this, I get my relationship with food get back to normal. But I had
Okay.
to make my brain understand that he doesn't need to force me to eat, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, everything came back on the normal, come back to normal after that.
So what was your first meal, and what did that taste like? Because you haven't tasted anything in
Yeah,
how many days was it all in?
17.
Okay, so in 17 days, you haven't tasted a single thing. You've just been drinking water. That
Yeah.
must have been orgasmic.
Yes, yes. Actually, the one of the biggest thing was when I came back to water after 9 days.
Oh yeah.
So that was amazing. feeling the water. Yo, that actually I had this crazy feeling when I drank for the first time after this 9 days. I literally felt water coming through my vein in my shoulder and in my quads. Like
Wow.
I felt the liquid inside. It was crazy. That was, yeah, crazy. And um when I start it, what did I eat on the very first time? I think I ate a soup, but only like I just boiled some vegetables and I just drink the liquid of it,
Uh-huh.
and all the taste are, you actually discover the taste of everything back. For example, since my fasting, I eat a lot more fruit than before, because as I had to eat fruit for a certain period of time, I relearn how to like it.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I rediscovered the taste, and now I'm so much into fruit. It's crazy. I've never, like, sometime I'm hungry and I'm like, I would like to eat a peach. Like, it's weird. Before it was like, yeah, some chocolate or some meat, but sometimes, yeah, an apple would be good. Yeah. Maybe I'm just getting older, but yeah, I don't know.
But when did you start to notice a difference with your knee?
Actually, maybe day 5,
Ah,
yeah, of my fasting. So I start notice a difference, and yeah, the more the days were going, and the less I felt the pain to my knee.
So
So
we
yeah,
So were you testing it every day? Because I know for me, especially during lockdown, if I was in lockdown and I was forcing myself not to eat or drink for weeks, by like every single day, I'd be like testing my knee and just be thinking about my knee at all times and be like, this better fucking work because I am so hungry right now.
I was testing it every hours. Yeah, I was testing it a lot, and I actually is not a good thing. If you do something like that, um you really should like rest, and testing it like means that you will try to feel something painful, and it's not necessary, and like you just like bother the work that your body makes to your knee.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely should like leave it alone, and yeah, just let it heal, I mean. And yeah, uh I was about to say something, but I forgot.
I'm wondering what people around you for. Like,
That's also, fasting, it's a huge experience, because you are kind of testing your limits and your will in front of like uh, food, in front of yourself, in front of your fear, and also in front of people's fear. Like, actually, to fasting, it's actually Jessie, my girlfriend, who told me, hey, as we are in quarantine, I think it should be a good idea to fast. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And at the end, especially when I did my 9 days of dry fast, she was like, you should drink, Vivian. Like, every day she asked me to drink. And like, her mother was also like, yeah, you scared me a little bit. And,
That
because
must be so crazy for her
yeah,
mom, man.
actually, from the beginning of my fast until the end of my fast, I've lost 17 kilograms. It's a lot. I don't
damn,
know how much is it in pounds, but
like 40 or so.
A
That
lot.
must have an effect on how your knee feels when you trick as well.
what?
That must change the way you're, just from the amount of impact on tricks. You know, if you're that much lighter, that must have an effect too.
Yeah, definitely. But actually, today I'm as big as before, and my knees feel still really good. So,
So, so
so
did you put all the weight back on?
what?
Did you put all the weight back on?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And so one of the thing that hurt me the most was when I try to swing my dubs, and it feels. Last time I've tried it, like you saw it on the video, the D-Day when I really forced it and
And
did a
again,
lot of tries, it hurt me a little bit. And to be honest, I felt it during few days after, but like it was nothing compared before, and I'm still able to trick, and I don't feel anything. Like, I think my knee needs to rehab to hard swing. That's more like this than I feel it. It's not like it's not a injury. It's not an injury anymore. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
it's
just
just
like a
your body
weakness.
getting used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so fascinating though. Okay, so after your first session back after
Yeah.
you've done the fast, what was that like going into it? Were you trying to just like remove all the thoughts and just go into it, removing your ego and just be, I don't know, just be calm? Or were you like nervous and like kind of stressed about the situation? What was it like?
Yeah. So before my first session, I did a lot of conditioning, so I start to be more and more confident about my knee.
Okay.
Course. But I knew that tricking was different than the CrossFit session that I had.
Mhm.
So I was nervous. I didn't know how my knee would react to it,
Mhm.
and I thought that at the beginning I was like, okay, no swing at all. I won't swing. I will just do like regular fit, like regular things like pulls and kicks and stuff. But I felt so comfortable that I swing straight to the first session. I didn't do any hard swing. I only did like touchdown raise, swing corks, and box cutter, I think.
Yeah.
And but I had a lot of. I was really stressed about it, but everything was good. Of course, I just felt terrible at tricking because fasting plus almost 2 years of not really training, plus the quarantine that lasts for 2 months in France, something like that. It was a lot for my brain for to remember how to move in tricking. So yeah, I felt terrible, but yeah, it was at the end it was okay.
So you mentioned that you were doing CrossFit in between. Sorry, I skipped ahead. I got a bit excited when talking about the recovery because
All right.
when you finished the fast, like what was the time period in which you went back to doing, I don't know, any kind of physical activity? Was it like a few days or what?
Yeah, after 5 days, I think. After
Okay.
5 days, I start to do some light CrossFit session,
Mhm.
and then I go harder and harder. Like I did it like maybe twice a week for 2 weeks, then go for 3 or 4 times a week, and then get back slowly to do it every day.
Were you doing a lot of, I don't know, a lot of rehab or any kind of strength and conditioning training before the fast?
Yeah, I
Okay.
was doing a lot of CrossFit also.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So when after about, I don't know, say a month or whatever, you're doing the CrossFit, but then what was the time period in between the CrossFit going into tricks? Because were you not wanting to like, I don't know, not rush, but like just kind of excited to get back into tricks?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I was so excited, but there is also the fact that I was so skinny, and you
Mm,
know how heavy I am. Like, I was so skinny. I was like, this body will not handle a single cork. I will, I will destroy it. So yeah, I did like 1 month or 1 month and a half of conditioning, and then I get back to my first session, my first tricking session.
What? How light were you? I mean, like, what's the lightest you were?
Uh, I was, I think, 70, no, 68 kilograms, and I'm now that I'm at my normal weight. I'm 87, I think.
Uh, I
Yes.
can't. That's like that'd be like how much I weighed when I was 15. Going back to being a kid. That's crazy.
Dude, that's so insane. Like, so insane.
Yeah, but you have to know that, especially with dry fasting, you lose a lot of weight because you have less water, and as soon as you start to eat, and like as soon as I start to drink, I I I think I gained like 2 kilograms more, like in within like 2 or 3 days, something like that. And as soon as you start to eat again, like you just get back a lot of weight really fast.
So, so how are you feeling about tricking at the moment? Do you feel like you're training a different way? Because I know since recovering from my injury, I don't know, I kind of approach the whole thing pretty differently now. It's more careful. Like I try and still progress as much as I can, but I'm much more like mindful of whatever I try.
Hmm. Yeah, sure. So the thing is that this step that you get through, I would say I'm training this way since I had my since I had my ACL injury. And now with the fasting, so you guys have to know that I keep fasting every week. So 1 day per week I'm fasting. And
Ah.
That's
once,
something I was going to ask.
yeah,
So, is it something that you're going to continue to do for,
yeah,
like,
definitely.
just for good?
Yeah, definitely.
Damn.
So once a week I fast for 1 day, and once a month I fast for 3 or 4 days. All right.
Okay. Are there
And
any, in terms of research with that, are there any, because for me, like, for an extended period, well, sorry, not for an extended period, but for like a longer period of time doing it frequently, does that have any research to say that it's got positive effects and stuff like that?
so the they say that the only thing I saw on it is that it's good to fast like it can be good to fast once a week.
Okay.
All right. And but there is no like a lot of research on it. And actually the fasting program that I'm following now, it's a test. Actually, I'm just testing the best way to keep on fasting,
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
keep on tricking and stuff like this. So to answer your question, Kojo, since I came back from to tricking since my fasting, I actually feel that I can trick harder than before,
Oh, nice.
because the way I recover, I recover like way faster than before. It's like 2 days ago I did a back squat, and I hurt my hip. All right, I hurt it actually quite hard, and because the way I am doing my back squats, like the way I put my anyway, the way I do my back squat is wrong, and I just like hurt my hip, and I was like, oh shit, I will have to stop tricking for 3 weeks. And this morning I woke up, I was like, what? I'm almost healed. And like every little things, even my when you do a lot of conditioning and your muscle are sore and painful, even this I recover way faster than before. I really can feel it. The difference is huge. So it's like I I feel like my body recover like when I was young. I feel that all of this fasting thing, like, just it's a big reset actually. You just reset your body, and I definitely feel the difference on that. Plus the fact that I don't have to any medicine anymore, and that's super crazy.
Dude, that is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Taking it for 28 years and then you
and
just in 19 days, you just kick the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
It's crazy. And the thing is that when I stopped my medicine, I stopped on my medicine like one day before I fast. And when I came back to eat, like my asthma start to came back a little bit, but as I kept going on fasting once a week, it was getting like the asthma was getting lower and lower, and I felt weird to go to sleep without taking my medicine.
Uh-huh.
I feel scared. I was like, I should have a big asthma attack tonight. It felt weird.
Yeah.
I just don't take it anymore. It's crazy. It's one of the craziest things actually.
Well, speaking about going to sleep and stuff, when you were doing your fast, was it not difficult to sleep? Like when you're meant to?
It was terrible. So actually, during it depends of people, because actually my girlfriend did fast for 8 days, and she never slept as well as good as during the fasting time. But
Oh, really?
yeah, but me, I couldn't sleep more than 4 hours per night. I was sleeping for 2 hours, then wake up for 3 hours, and then fall asleep for 2 hours again. And then I had to wake up. I couldn't sleep anymore after that. Like, yeah, it was terrible. After my third day of fasting, I start to not be able to sleep. Your body doesn't need to sleep too much, because as he doesn't use his energy to digest,
Mhm.
he doesn't need to sleep as much as before. That's the main thing about fasting. You are using, I think, almost 70% of your whole body energy for digest all you are eating. And when you stop eating, your body starts to feel that, okay, I don't need to digest, so I can work on the things that doesn't work good on the.
Yeah.
So he used this energy to fix all the problem that you have in your body. That's the.
Dude, I
Yeah.
speaking to you is just making me want to try this shit. Like for real. Like because I've always found it super interesting just from multiple angles, because obviously there's like the mental side of it where it's like wanting to give into that immediate desire to eat or drink or whatever the case may be. But then just to see how it would affect you in the long term mentally, because like I feel like most people's relationships with food is so, it's almost toxic. I know it is for me, and like I see people around me where it's kind of like it's always more, 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 and
Yeah.
it's definitely the same for me. So I wonder how that would affect me mentally and then physically, because like we've all got injuries.
Yeah.
So is it the kind of thing that you would recommend for everyone, or do you have to be, I don't know, what would you say?
So it's hard to answer to this for two things. The first thing is that my fasting was my very first fast my yeah my very first fasting. The big one was like less than 6 months ago. So I can't say that I have long-term results. That's
Yeah.
why I'm still testing.
Hmm.
And the second thing is that we are all different. I'm not a doctor. I can't say yes, everyone have to do it. But my belief is just like it's just what I believe. I'm not saying that I'm right. I just believe in it. I think that it can be, you can everyone can have benefit from fasting. This is my belief. I'm not pushing anybody to do it. If you want to do it, you have to, you should visit a doctor that is a specialist and can that you can talk to, and you really should uh, document yourself. You really should learn a lot about it before you do it. There is a lot of things to know, and I don't want to push anyone to do it, because it can be dangerous if you don't do it in the right way. It
Yeah.
can, it can be dangerous, but I believe that it's one of the most powerful things to heal from a lot of problem and disease. One more time, it's just my belief. Is I'm not God. I don't know. Every,
You're not. Fucking hell. I've
yes,
been running around telling everyone you are.
no, but I look like, but I'm not.
Oh, it's so nuts.
Damn. That's really interesting. I'd never thought about it. I'd never really thought about fasting as a way to like heal injuries and stuff. Like I knew that it can help with autoimmune conditions and all of that stuff. I'd heard that, but I never really thought about it in terms of a knee injury or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I didn't know neither, and I was like, I was a part of me was skeptical about it. Was like, I don't know. But to answer your question, Omid, that you asked me before, I tried a lot of things before, a lot. Like some people told me, like, oh yeah, Vivien, you it's probably the fact that as you couldn't trick for 2 months, your knee just healed and that's it. That's why you are healed now.
Yeah.
But it's wrong because I actually stopped tricking for 4 months before the fasting. I didn't trick for 4 months in a row, and it didn't change anything. You know?
Along with conditioning and all that kind of thing.
No, I stopped everything. I didn't do
Okay.
any conditioning, so I rest for real for 4 months, and
Yeah.
then I go back to conditioning. Then I try to trick, but I didn't even try to trick because during my conditioning period, I start to feel pain back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tried a lot of things, and yeah, actually, fasting was the most efficient thing that I tried. I calculated and I counted. I mean, and I think I tried more than 17 different methods to heal my knee. 17 during these last 2 years.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's a commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus.
working for it. So now you're tricking again. You got any
What?
big tricking goals?
What do you say?
Have you got any big tricking goals now you're getting back into it?
Of course, I want, like, that's the thing, is that, to be honest, since this last maybe since this last 4 years, I've never felt so good with my body, and I actually never had biggest tricking goals than now. I really want to get back to all of my hard tricks. And when I say all, I say all of them.
Yeah.
And
Oh, are you gonna do the cart double Arabian again?
yeah, definitely. Actually, this last year, I was like, yeah, I don't know if my knees and my body will be able to handle like this kind of hard trick. But as soon as I feel like a really in shape, like that, my tricking feelings came back, I will start with it. Actually, I will start with double rotation again. Like, I'm like, yeah, I should triple cork before and blah blah blah, but no, I will start with all of my card full in and stuffs like this. I will start to get back with it. That's what I want to do for this time.
Well, does cart full in? Does it seem easier to you now? Because when you were doing it before, like no one was really doing it, but now
Yeah,
you got the Japanese kids, you got Zen swinging out of it to cork.
yeah,
And for me, like when Shosei, the day Shosei did gainer switch quad cork, like I think the same day or the same after or the day after or something, I did gainer switch triple cork pop flash because it just felt way easier just
yeah.
after seeing him do that.
Uh-huh. I don't really know because there is two things. Yeah, we don't have the same cartwheel at all.
Mm.
Like, they are more punchy. Their cartwheel are kind of card off, and we don't have the same full in.
True.
Yeah,
That's true.
full
Yeah.
in is definitely different. I'm not saying that it's better or anything, but it's definitely different. And I really want to keep mine because, I think I like it like this. So I don't know how it will be, but the thing is that during this last year, my cartwheel, I improved my cartwheel a lot. So I think it will be easier. I don't know. Not
Alright.
necessarily because Jose makes it easier, but because I improve a lot also during this last year. So we'll see.
Oh, that's so high.
Indeed.
Okay, so obviously you've got your big goals in terms of getting back to where you were, but what do you have in mind in terms of things that you've never done before? Has it made you start thinking about, because obviously you've had a lot of time, like even just because of quarantine as well, has it made you kind of reevaluate, and because you've got this like new lease of life because your body is cooperating,
Yeah.
has it made you look at the way you want your style to look and the type of combos that you're doing, and do you want to go in a completely different direction in some ways, or what?
Yeah, there is a lot of yeah, of course there is a lot of things that I want to change and improve in my tricks. Yes, for sure, get better and cleaner at kicking, because I've never been like at the very beginning I was a very bad kicker. I'm not saying that I'm a good one, but I was a very bad kicker, and I want to make my kick way cleaner. Also do like get back to my kind of I can't say that I wasn't that I can do OCs, but some of my hard trick was on the same time kind of original. So I want to create more tricks like this, like full double leg and back out and core Krodo twists. Back in the day, it was like not that common. So I want to create more tricks like this.
Yeah, that's cool.
And yeah, of course, just what I love is like pushing the limits. So I want to push some new limits, and I also have one special trick that I want to do, and that I won't say until I've done it.
Oh shit.
Oh, we got the sneak preview. He's not letting us know.
Yeah.
Is it because you don't want someone else to come along and do it first?
Yes, definitely. Jose can do it if he hear it. No, actually, I don't even know if Jose can do it. He won't be able to do it like first try, definitely, because it's dangerous.
That's what we like here on the Omid Kojo show. We like
Bit
life-threatening stunts.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jose of course definitely can do it. But I wanna be the first one.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, it won't be right now. I don't know when it will be, and this is also why I want to get back to double flipping rotation, because it will be kind of about it. So I have to.
What is it? Vivien, just hurry up and do it so we know. Hurry up, do it now. Do it tomorrow. No, do it tonight. It's so good to see you so happy about like the recovery as well, because like
Yeah.
it's something that everybody who tricks can relate to. It's the most relatable story, but
Yeah.
thankfully it's a success story as well, because
Thanks.
there's so many stories that end in just like, yeah, and then I just kind of dropped off because I couldn't be bothered to keep trying because I felt like I tried everything. But with Vivien, he didn't give up. He just starved himself for 17 days, and then now he's
in
killing
the
shit.
sun, not drinking water.
Yeah, like a little lizard, just climbing into the pool and just standing there. But he's so light, he's just kind of floating on the top layer of the water.
Yeah, it was a big adventure. Let me show you something. Wait, I want to show you a picture that was bad. I hope I will find it fast. I should.
Oh, I can't be Shramid in this.
What?
I wish I could be Shramid on Skype.
Oh.
Yeah, Omid normally becomes a shrimp mid episode.
Shit. Oh yeah. Watch this. It was me like during my fasting. Oh yeah, because of the wait.
Because of your tower.
Yeah, because of my tower. Okay, guys, I've been lied to you. I'm just in my studio apartment. Watch this. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you can't see me well, but
About.
my face was terrible.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
dude, you look
Yeah.
so different.
I look dead.
Oh
You
my
look like
god.
you're your own dad. I can imagine a picture of your dad.
You've just got so much extra skin.
Yeah, yeah, but fasting is it's a big experience. Don't if you think it will be easy, it won't. It won't. Like there is a lot of people actually that contact me after that and say, yeah, uh, fasting looks good. Congrats for what you did. I will try for 1 week and stuff. I was like, yeah, it depends of like your goals. My goal was big. I wanted to heal. It's been 2 years that I couldn't drink like I wanted to. And like there's some people came to me and like, yeah, I want to try it for 1 week. I was like, why do you want to do it? Yeah, just to try. 2 days after, yeah, Vivian, I stopped fasting. It was way too hard. And
Yeah.
the thing is that you have to have a big goal, a big why. If your why is big enough, you will be able to handle it. But if you don't have the like a really good reason to do it, it will be hard. It will be hard.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
That every day I wanted to stop. Every day.
Well,
Every day.
what was the point that pushed you over the edge? Like, was it, and what was going through your head when you decided that it was time to stop? Like, was it because, do you feel like Jessie and her concerns were kind of getting in your head, or was it just you, or had you, like, what was your original goal as well? Like, how many in your head when you started, were you just thinking like a week, 2 weeks, what?
Yeah. So at the very beginning, I wanted to do between 1 week, no, between 10 days and 14 and 15 days
Okay.
at the very beginning. After 3 days, I was like, okay, I will definitely hit the 15 days. And then after 3 days, I learned more and more about fasting, and I learned more and more about dry fasting. And as I knew that 1 day of dry fasting was equal 3 days of water fasting, and that there was a big step in the process of regeneration. It's some like a like the healing process was really good when you hit uh, 35 days. When you hit 35 days of fasting, the regeneration process, like the healing process, is really deep. All right. So I just calculated to reach 35 days of water fasting, which is like that's why I did like 9 and 3 days of dry fast,
Mhm.
because 1 day is equal 3 days. 1 day of dry fast equal 3 days of water fast, and then like this I eat a little bit more than 35 days.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't that clear. Sorry for my bad English, but
No, no, we get it. Yeah, because you have to do the maths. Like
yeah,
9 days of a dry fast is the equivalent of 27 days of
yeah,
water fast. Yeah.
that's it. So I wanted to, so after my third day I wanted to hit like 15 days, and after maybe my fifth days I was like, okay, I will try to hit like the equivalence of 35 days at least.
That's so sick.
Yeah, and so that's why I did that. And then when I did my like maybe 3 or 4 days of dry fast the second time, so I did 3 days of dry fast, then drink for and a half days. And then after 4 days of the second part of my dry fast, I was like, okay, we hit 10 days of dry fasting. But I didn't. And I only did 9 because I was about to die.
Yeah, I think that can be excused. I think we'll allow it. It's hardly like you backed out 9 hours in, you know?
I bet that built so much mental strength as well.
Yeah.
Just like if you can do that, then it kind of, I don't know, I can't think of many challenges that will come up in the future that are going to be like harder than that.
Yeah. Actually, that's crazy also, because every time I'm fasting, like every time I have to do like 4 days of fasting or 3 days of fasting, every time it's hard. It's still hard. I have to say this last 2 fasting was a little bit easier, but it keeps you still have to have a big amount of will to do it and to keep on doing it. Yeah. But yeah, like there will be a lot of like I don't know how to say it. There will be a lot of hard thing that will happen in my life that will be maybe easier because I get through this big.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah.
Been
Thank
really
you for
interesting.
joining us, Viv. It was awesome. It was awesome catching up as well. It's been too long.
Really.
Oh, Viv, actually, at some point, I'm gonna come to Paris. Hopefully, I don't know, in the next few months. I want to cycle to Paris.
Yeah, just let me know. You know how it is when you are coming to Paris.
Of course.
We'll take care of you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And have fun.
I stumbled across the photos that we were taking. You remember we were playing what was it? King of the what did we call it?
Of the dance floor.
King of the dance floor. So many stupid pictures.
Yeah.
So we played King of the Floor, but on a night out, and it wasn't trick related, but it was like while we were in the taxi on the way to the club, we were right, and it was like a fucking Thursday or something, I think. So it wasn't the most popping night.
Yeah.
And then we wrote all these challenges down. One of them was to like crawl through somebody's legs.
Oh.
It was all just ridiculous shit, but yeah, it was fun.
You had to dance with someone else's bottles, like.
Oh yeah. It was a lot. But yo, Viv, thank you ever so much for joining us.
Yeah.
And all of Vivien's social media links are going to be in the description. Make sure you go and check out his YouTube channel because he's documented the process of his fasting on there. And yeah, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks to you guys. Thanks very much, and hope to see you soon.